Give me 1 second. Can I ask the host to give me permission to record this session, please, if that's possible?
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
So if the host can give me co-host privilege, I would appreciate that so I could get the record button active. So meanwhile, that is happening.
Mr. Tika will assist you there.
All right, and okay, and then I will also need permission to share my screen, please.
Mr. James, Atika James.
Mr. Robinson, Ketty's in the meeting, so she has.
Oh, she's in the. Welcome to our GS. I told you she was a little dealing with some business, so the GS would assist in making our presenter the co-host so that he could share his screen. GS, welcome and thank you.
Are you getting through, Mr. Gomes?
No, if you give me the co-host piece, I can share my screen and not being able to share my screen. Good, wonderful, great, thank you. Just go ahead here, give me 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, so again, good afternoon, and then we go in full swing. So this is what we're going to talk about today. A few things that we're going to look at is getting to know and understand your audience, and this we kind of relay on what we would have discussed in planning for an ICT class. So in this one, we're going to talk about understanding the tools, planning your lesson, executing the lesson or session, right? And then we're going to get some practical work, working with videos, and I really want to take something different and show you how to work with a particular site that I think would give you a lot of tools and setup for your class, for your entire school, if possible, and the possibilities of using it is pretty tremendous. All right. So as we go forward, I think one of the things that a lot of us as teachers have to grapple with is the idea of trust. You know, I think in my time of working with teachers, one of the things that I know they are afraid of at times, and, you know, just because of some experience, is not trusting the technology. All right, and being afraid of the technology. That includes some person might think they're afraid to do stuff because they think they will break the device or break whatever they're using, or make such an embarrassing mess that they don't really want to go forward in moving forward using some of the technology that is out there. This brings us to the fact now that you have to be confident with whatever technology and competent that with the technology tools that you're using. Now, this as well come back to the idea of being afraid or being fearful of the tools and software that you're using to execute your various classes. One of the things that persons who are working with ICT and ICT tools will come to understand is that you will have to develop a competency and mastery skills of a lot of tools to execute a pretty decent ICT class, right? Now, you could correct me if I'm wrong. Most of the time, when person thinks of an ICT class, most person look towards using PowerPoint, all right, and mastering PowerPoint and maybe counterpart like Prezi and those ones. And I think by now, most of you guys in here would have had that under your belt already. So that is why today I want to deviate from that a little bit and bring something new, possibly new and fresh to the table, right? So, and also some person think that using a video as well in the classroom is ICT integration, and that is why sometimes I think in our recent times we see teachers and principals are complaining that teachers are making their classroom like a showroom, like a video room. They just show a video and think it is fine. So no, we have to know how to use those videos and how to make those video integrate into the material. And I think these are tools again that are skills I think most of you have, because speaking with most, trying to get some information on the audience that I'm working with, I think most of you are very seasoned teachers and professionals that may have this under your belt already. But I'll just breeze a little bit on it as we move forward, all right? So once we're getting ready to use our ICT class, one, you have to be confident with the tool that you're using or the tools that you're using. You have to know the tools inside out, and also be prepared for stuff when you're using ICT integration, for things to go wrong and how to work around them. There are a lot of tools out there that that you can use, and I could go on whole night talking about stuff, but some of these tools that you might have to get familiar with is chat rooms, word processing skills, and this could be from a Word document to Notepad++ to understand how Google works. The chat room, I know most of you are into WhatsApp. We have a web page authoring tools, and there's a whole slew of them out there, and there's so many, so we can go on and on. Just to name a few, we have Dreamweaver, Notepad++. You have to understand Photoshop. You might have to even understand your little paint tool that is there on your computer. File transfer protocol, if you have to upload file to a site or download file from a site, this is a tool that you might have to understand. Compress and the decompression of files, if you have more than one file that is being used. And if you want me to just copy, because the compress and decompress, most person might not understand that. So if you want me to just touch a little bit on that, that is one I think I wouldn't mind touching on. So then if you're interested in that, then I could show you how you could send large amount of file as one folder, so that students can get those folders and file that you need. So you might see now and then things like WinZip and WinRAR. These are software that compress files and decompress files so that you could use a multitude of files that be sent to you. But there are other ones that the computer comes with that can be easily be used, so that you can look at that as you can look at those as well. Presentation tools and designing tools. Most of you will know most of those. They have PowerPoint, Prezi, some that we mentioned. We also have what we call Publisher, and those are the tools that we have. And then we have online tools, a whole slew of online tools. But there's one particular online tool that I'm going to zone in on with you today, and I hope that could be of great interest to you. I know a lot of persons been asking questions about that just in casual conversations. So I really want to zoom in on this one particular tool, and we get it as we go along. It just happened today that I was basically using ICT integrated class, and I was using a video, and I decided, I want to talk a little bit about, we were talking about data security, password, person using different techniques to get information out of you to, get hold of your account. And it was a very interesting and very exciting class, because the students came with a lot of preconceived, with a lot of previous knowledge, even their own experience of persons sending them information online and tell them, click on this link to go to here and see me properly and those kind of stuff. And they give a whole slew of information. Now I'm going to show you a video, and then we're going to see how we can integrate this into a lesson pertaining to password security, data security, and all that when you put into protecting your password, not sharing the information online, because this is currently is a big issue in and around our students. So seeing that they have a whole social media. So one of the things that I do normally when we're doing an ICT inclusive class is to get a big impact in the first 5 minutes of the class, because you try to get the interest of the students and let the interest of the students drive the momentum of the class. It makes your life a lot more easier, especially once you get the tools them up and running, once you get the proper material and you research the proper material to bring to the class. And once you grab the student interest and they start moving with that class, it makes your life a little bit easier. It makes your reading a lot, your working with your class a little bit more easier. Participation gonna be a maximum, be at max. And I think at this point, it's not so much what you're teaching, but how do you contain the excitement in your class? So while I start with my classes, I try to find things like icebreakers, and it could be everyday things that I might experience personally, things that I read online and so forth, I'm willing to share just to get their mood flowing, get their ideas flowing, and start getting them free up in the classroom so that we're still going on. And you can tell me what you think about this. And the topic that we are looking about is data security, password and protection, the reduced sharing of information. This is the topic that we are going to hover around. So let me just make my, give me 1 second here. Give me one. Let me just share my audio 1 minute. Share song. Okay, great. There we go. So here we go. Everybody's hearing, right? Just raise your hand that you're hearing. Okay, good. Just 3 minutes, just bear with it.
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
This is me.
Mio!
I'm just calling to tell you that you win the lottery.
I never buy no tickets
It's
for
not a
me
trick.
win lottery.
This is for real. They say I'm a credit card scammer, but I ain't done no scamming. Hello.
Me say hello already again.
Can you hear
Yeah, I
me?
hear you loud and clear, me no deaf.
I've been waiting for the card number to begin the process.
You're gonna wait till you
Just the
patch.
number, oh wait, and the password.
But I don't know why come scam off me,
I
that's
just
sorry.
want this information to send you the check directly. There's such a weirdness
Yes, it's weird for two because do
between
they call
us,
them your time of night, yeah?
because you don't think this is for real.
Don't get me on me wrong side.
I know scamming me a try, 'cause right now I can live lavishly because I need a clearinghouse fee. Hello from the outside, I'm the one left with my pride, but now I'm waiting on your money to buy myself a new flat screen TV.
Why this a scammer man fufu? Y'all tell me why they gonna give me money.
Hello,
Goodbye!
how are you? I've been waiting on
You
the
can't
check to
handle the
be
week.
clear. I'm so sorry.
You can't take the money out of the winnings.
No, me can't do that.
Well, you can't dark like a midnight.
I just need the credit card number to verify everything. The check, it's already written. and ready for shipping.
Don't get me on me wrong side.
I know scamming me a try. Cause right now I can live lavishly because I need a clearinghouse fee. Hello from the outside. I'm the one left with my pride. But now I'm waiting on your money to buy myself a new flat screen TV.
Right. So keeping the topic in mind that we are talking about protecting information, protecting your credentials, be aware of the different things that is happening out there for online students and students who are on the internet, and even us as individual. And surprisingly enough, this video did do the job because it bring across the information, and it also attached to a previous knowledge, which is the song itself. So the effect that happened on this one was a very exciting class, and students left singing the song, right? So, but they also bring out content from the textbook without me even thinking about using the textbook. All right. So they bring out like, oh, so I remember someone did call them, or they did send a message on Facebook, like a Samsung representative that was very popular. That Samsung representative brought in, and he asked for username and to get my new Samsung A20 phone and everything like that. They also reach as far as saying that they normally share information on the popular games that they use, like for example, the PUBG, the Free Fire. And it was a very interesting case where they mostly mentioned that, and at this point, I am just a facilitator in the class. I was completely now taken out of the class, and the students are now managing the class by sharing the information, just being spoiled from this one little video. And they were sharing that the PUBG and the Free Fire that they use, and I didn't say, I'm a gamer myself, but I wasn't even aware of this because I took myself away from it a bit, is that the character that they use online, that they will meet persons online in their online characters and their shooter games. And the person will tell them, give me your username and password so that I could send you a certain amount of diamonds. And in the game, diamonds is a currency that you use to buy stuff in the game. And when they ask to give the username and password to get the currency, some of them are gullible enough and that they give the username and password and then they're completely locked out of their account. All right, the account is taken over. That person now have their account and pretending to be them online. So knowing the audience as well is very, very important, right? Because this video was presented to a Form 3, Form 4 type student, so set of students, so that they can bring that kind of information out. So knowing your content and how you bring in those content is very important to when you're presenting an ICT integrated class, using something like revolving around a video. All right. Any response to this video pertaining to the video, relation to the topic, on any suggestion, anything like that? Before we move forward, I would like to hear your feedback. I don't want to be speaking by myself all the time. So any feedback at all? The content of the video, anything pertaining to the content of the video? We're just gonna leave it like that. Nobody wanna mention anything? Okay, so as we move forward, some of the things that would have been brought out from this particular lesson, because as I mentioned, I'm not going to spend too long on this because I know most of you will have that kind of repertoire, but I just want to share that a little bit. Protecting username and password. Do not give out irrelevant data like they do on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and everything like that. And don't just add a random person to your profile. Before giving out the data, you try to know who you're talking with, who you are connecting with, and don't click on a lot of random links. So that was one of the lessons today that we were really interested in and working with. Now, the area that I really want to spend some time with you guys with, because I don't want to go back into the Microsoft PowerPoint. I don't want to go back into those. I want to bring something different to you, right? Is something called the Google Sites. If you know about the Google Sites, just raise your hand for me. You don't have to speak, just raise your hand if you know about the Google Sites. If you don't know about the Google Sites, put the sad smiley face. Come on, let's have a participation. We have 33 persons inside. There were 32 excluding myself. So Chevron know about the Google Sites, okay. Butler, seems like you don't know. Candy Derek know about the Google Sites. All right. So we have a few persons who know and who don't know about the Google Sites. Okay. Wonderful. Cindy, okay, great. Aggie, wonderful. So yes, so this is something that will be new to a lot of persons. Now, what we have to understand about the Google Sites is that Google Sites is one of the most powerful tools out there for ICT and ICT teachers, your classroom, and even most your entire school. Your entire school could be using the Google Site system to really be a well ICT operating school. It can be used as an e-portfolio for yourself, and it has been used as a portfolio where if you want to get hired, you can send person to their site to see what you are about. You could put your resume there. You could put everything that is possibly there about yourself for employee purpose. You could also be used for teaching children, starting getting them in the idea of web designing and web development. They could on website, that's the website development. And it could also be used as accumulation of information for your class. So you want your class to see what you have done the whole term, the Google Sites can be used for that. So this is where we want to go to today. And it is very simple, very simple. It is also easy to use and easy accessible. And most of all, it is free once you have a Google account. All right. So I'm going to just change gears a bit and take you to that particular aspect so that you can see how to get there and how to start setting it up. All right, so just give me 1 minute. And funny enough, while I'm getting this up and running, funny enough, you have a small business and you want a website, Google Sites. Okay, you have a little project you want to do and you want to understand that a little bit more, you can use the Google Sites. And I'm going to just take you there quickly to show you exactly how this happens. All right. Now, let me just share back my screen here quickly so that you could see what is happening here. All right. So here you have your Google account, just a regular old Google account. And Google give a lot of tools for persons out there to use, spread the news and get the information out there and see whatever they are doing to put it on a public setting. So in a case like this, this is your regular site. You log in to your Gmail. Look, I'm logging as my Gmail, one of my Gmail account. And then we have this Google app icons here. So we just click on that. And this gives us the slew of all the apps and so forth that Google have available, give to you as a person who have a Google account. A lot of them persons use like the Google Drive and so forth, but we're going to focus in today on the Google Sites. So we go to more from Google. All right. And then we're going to come down to the bottom here where they show you all the tools that they have available. The one that we actually going to look for is the one called Site. So once you have a Google account, this is all the stuff you have available to you. If you have never checked them out, it is pretty interesting that some of the stuff that you can check out. So this is the sites here. This is the one that we are going to be interested in today. So I'm going to click on that. Now, by default, this is all the information and all the templates that are available there for you so that you can take a look at. You have your classic sites, the sites that you want and everything like that. You want a project, you want to start a project, you could start it. You want to do an event for yourself, you want to do an event for the school, you want to do an event for your class. And one of the things that Google Site presents itself really nicely is that from an educational standpoint is that once you leave at the end of the term, you want accumulation of all the things that you have done for the kids to go to one site and see everything, video, document that you have given to them at one stop, where especially for primary school, where I know that a lot of primary school teachers is like a one-stop shop where they teach civics, maths, and English and everything. And you want a place to put all the information, so you just send that link to all your students and they can access all of them. Google Site is the place for you. So let's say, for example, we want to start a project. Okay, we're gonna start a project. Now you could use a blank template or you could use the existing templates that is out there for you. So this is basically one that is already out there. So we're moving from left to right, and right now we're going from top to bottom, right? You have your project name. And from an education teacher standpoint, this could actually be your end of term cumulative information or knowledge, test your knowledge or knowledge for students, you know, or knowledge for your students. And this can be pretty much what is capable. You basically be going to create a website with just a couple clicks to post all the information that your students need in one place. One simple place, right? With some simple tweaks and addition here and there, and you are good to go. All right. So let's say, for example, this is grade 3, grade 3, Miss Simmons, because that's the teacher's name, right? Grade 3, Miss Simmons. We leave that there. All right. So everybody know that. So all these things are editable. You could put welcome children to our class. You could make these your different class. You could say your maths corner. You can say your English corner. You could say a science corner, and you could say a civics corner. And all of these you can manipulate and add them for yourself, change up the picture and so forth. So first, what we're going to look at, we are going to look at how we could customize our first page and create 1 or 2 pages. If you have any question as we move along, and if you think I'm moving too fast, please just unmute your mic and speak, because I'm not able to see the hands and so forth per se, because it's supposed to be popping up on the screen. So let's go. Now, one of the things that we will do, for example, let's say I want to make this site a little bit more teacher and a little bit more student friendly. All right, I can go here and change out this whole picture here that I'm seeing on the background. Let's say you have a picture. Let's go for a picture here online. Let's go here, images, primary school children. Just to make your site a little bit more friendly, welcoming than being dull, you know? And I try, when I'm selecting my pictures, I try to have, without sounding too racist or whatever, on the other side, I try to have color of students that, you know, this class representing. So I would normally, if you're in Asia, you look for Asian children. If we're in the Caribbean, we look for Caribbean hues and colors in the skin. And still we're gonna find some that has a bit of different colors in it. But you want one that is exciting. And even better, if you want to bring your children right into the site and be so part of the site, take a group picture with you and the children. Take a group picture with you and the children having, and then post that up. So let's see something here. I'm looking for one that is, that kind of really represents us around here. Like, give me 1 second. One should be here somewhere soon. Let's go here. Let's look up for a different one. Just one that that really kind of represents us a little bit. Right. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Let's see, we hit this one here. Just because. I guess the children look well interacted and cute. All right, so I'm gonna save the image. All right, save that image. Save it on my desktop. All right, my downloads, save it there. Okay, good. All right, now be careful of the image you use online, because at the same time, you want to be able to, person could tell you that, okay, you're using my image and you could run into some problems. So make sure you're using free images. Those are royalty-free images, or better yet, take an image of you and your students, and it will make the students more feel at home. So I'm gonna upload an image, and this will take me to my download where I can download my image and get my image uploaded. And then here we go. So my students are there. All right. So from here, because each section of the site, of the Google site, is editable, and you can change it around, change stuff around. The header type, I could make it a banner, make it smaller. I could make it a large banner. I could make it a cover that makes the children, when they come, they say, that is me, that is our teacher, that is my class. But we could leave it, at a large banner, and that will be fine, right? Now, here now, we don't put our thing here. We could say, welcome, or you could leave it off. Welcome to grade 6, grade 3, everyone. Grade 3, you put the information in grade 3, everyone, you put it there. And I know some teachers in here will love to make their things special. So they want special text. They want to make sure it look different. Want to be different in look, different in feel. They want it to be very pronounced. And this is one way you could really develop your internet of virtual presence with your students, instead of just coming to a classroom which is just a bunch of notes there. Let's bring this online aspect alive, and we can do that in so many ways. And one of the ways is the Google site. So you could put a little description here for when parents ready to talk about and find out what is really our teacher, our grade 3 teacher is having. All right. So we have the mission of the project. Now, all of these you don't have to use them. Not because they're here there, you have to use them. So because I don't want this section, I could just delete that section. I don't want that, right? But this now is let's say this is my science section, my science class, my science corner. So everything that goes to this corner is about science. Then I have my English corner. All right, I might have my maths corner. And then I have my civics corner. And this is applicable to all subject areas, all level, into whether you're secondary, your tertiary, and primary, because everybody will be able to have this little corner for themselves. All right. So now, remember now, these little icons here are just representation of a bigger thing. So we haven't really built the actual page for these as yet. All right. So we just developing our own style on the outside, making sure that when the children come, it's pronounced, it's looking good, it's welcoming and everything like that. So to do that, I could just you could just put in a little color there, just to make it more happy looking for the kids. You could upload an image, You could just you could do anything that you want. Basically, we don't want to upload the image here. I just want to just make it look colorful and organized in a way for my students when they come there. Okay, so this is where I can put information as well. I could put different information there, but I don't, because I'm building a site, so I don't want that. And there's another section here, so each section can be removed and placed. I don't want that. So everything is pretty well nice and connected. So here we start to get our website or our Google site with for resource available. Now, I'm going to develop my my science corner. All right. So I want my corner to look very children friendly for the age that I'm teaching. And let's say I'm gearing for like a grade 6 around there. So of course I'm going back and look for science students, science make it look real enticing for the kids to be there. Hello, there we go. I don't see that. We don't see some nice healthy pictures here that we can use. This one is fun. This is trouble. This is trouble. This is definitely what science is about. Science is about trouble. So I save that image. All right. I save it in my downloads. Science contagious. Not gonna really worry about that too much. And then I come here. So here I'm able to change the image for this picture. I want to replace the image. So I'm going to upload it. I just click on the image. I just clicked on the image and then I click on upload an image. Right. So you're going to take me to where I have my image and I put that there. Here we go. So now there's a couple of things you can do to capture. You notice some of our excitement is cut off. I can widen the picture. I can move the picture around. Notice the system create like a kind of grid setting. I can move it around and my science corner start to look alive. My science corner starts to look alive, right? So that is the science corner we are looking at. Now, these tools over here helps you put information on any part of the website that you're using or any part of the site that you're using, all right? So you have, you could upload stuff from your Google Drive. If you have documents on your Google Drive, you could bring up image if you have image elsewhere. You have text box if you want to embed a video. Embed is about embedding a video. You have a lot of videos you want to embed in, that is fine. You don't have any limit on the amount of things you can use, any amount of information you can put here. It is open and there for you to use, and I'm going to show you at the end, hopefully. This now is down here telling me how really I want my main screen to be structured, right? So what this shows me is that I want one picture, one big picture, and the rest is content. I have two big pictures with content. I have all pictures. I have 4 pictures like what I have out here, and they have content next to them and those kind of stuff. You could put in a collapsible group if you want, and I'll show you how to use some of those. You can put in table of content. This is like textbook. You could even put in a carousel. A carousel is like, instead of having this one stagnant image there, you could have a series of images just floating across just to keep the site, you know, alive and pretty. You can put in buttons that click and you go to different things. You could put a divider. A divider is what is here right now, where I divide these two sections here. Placeholder, you want to put in a YouTube, you want to put in a calendar, you want to put a map, you want to put, it's a lot of things they can do. You want to put in a form, you want to put in a Google Sheet, a lot of things you can do. So remember I mentioned though that at this point, I am just building my homepage for my site. So my students, when they come to my site, they can see, you know, definitely the science is different from the English. You want to make it so obvious that they don't click on the wrong thing. So although this is the page, or this is the home page, we have to build the actual pages that this picture here connects to. Because as you click on it, it doesn't have no link. You will notice it have no link at all, right? So we haven't put no link on it. So we have to go and create the page. Over here is where you have that page. So you have insert, where you can insert the text box, insert the images, but you also have the pages, right? So we have pages. So here we have the home, which is where we are looking at. We have the history, if you want that site to be, this is a blank page now, it's not connected at all. We have the teams. You know, this is not developed at all. This could be about the teacher. This could be about the school. Listen, the possibility of Google Site is endless, but we're gonna keep it just to the teacher perspective. So let's go back to home. So this is our home page. So we're gonna make this page our science page. So we're gonna rename it quickly. All right. We're gonna let's see, hold on. Rename it and say Science Corner. So we're gonna create the page and then we're gonna connect it to our home page. So when the students click on it, they come straight to our Science Corner, right? So for now, let's get rid of these because they are not of any consequence to us at the moment. And because it's in your Gmail account, you don't have to be saving it. You don't have to be reviewing it. It is there for you to make edit whenever you can. All right. Now, if you want to add a new page, we just hit add a new page here, and then you have new page, a link, or a new menu, and then we can move from there. So in our Science Corner, what I try to do is try and keep the, what do you call it? Try and keep the heading and so forth the same so that you could see what is happening here. So I'm going to go here and edit the logo, which is this little icon here. I don't want to edit that, but I'm going to add a header. So this is our Science Corner. And when you come to science, you need to see a lot of things happening. Not so much destruction, but more so kids having fun. Science is supposed to be fun. If we're looking at STEM stuff and we're looking at ICT integration, science is supposed to be fun. So let's just say for argument's sake, we're going to use this picture here. Or now let's keep it real. And you could make it your own. You could make it your own. You could take a picture of your child, of your children, making a simple something in their class, and you take a picture and you make that your own. So we're coming back here, we go to the here, we change the image, I upload my image, and then I put kids in the classroom. Right? Back, voila. Now, you tell me if the child whose face is not captured here won't be happy to see his face there. They will be happy. They will be definitely happy. They're gonna say, Miss, that's me. Oh, sir, that's me. And then we leave that there, right? Then we come here now. Here is where you're gonna put all the content for your sciences. You want to put in a video about science, you're gonna put it here, all right? So again, I'm going to remove these. I'm going to show you how to put them back. I remove that, and I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove this picture here, right? I'm going to delete this picture here. This has nothing to do with science, all right? So what I'm going to do, we're going to talk about movements. Let's say we just talk about movement in the classroom. So I make it movement. Please, I'm just freestyling here, so don't beat me too much if I get some of the topics wrong and so forth and things like that. Just bear with me. So I make that bigger. I make the text a little bit bigger so that when the kids come, they see that particular topic that we did, right? Make it on movement, right? I'm gonna make it a little fun. Look for something a little bit more impactful, but you have to make sure when you're choosing your font, the children are able to read the font. So stay away from those fancy writing fonts and so forth, because remember your audience are children. So you go into Merriweather and we make it bold, right? Good. Now on the movement, I'll give a little explanation about what movement is about. Let me just find some text, a little quick text here. And notice that I'm moving between these pages pretty easily. Okay, I don't use Wikipedia as a source, and I try not to. Biology, I'm just using here the act of movement, right? Very simple. I copy that, and then I come back to my site and I paste it here. Of course, when you do these things, you try to source them so that you get the information that you need. So I'm gonna use up the whole space here. So that is about movement. Now that is content about movement. Now I want a video about movement. So I'm going back to insert, where I could get a YouTube video about movement. All right. So I'm going here, coming down here to YouTube. First of all, let me go look for a YouTube video. Of course. And you see, this is especially good when you come into like revision time and you want to put content out there for students, improving vocabulary, about movement. Yes. There we go. Something very
Force and
simple.
motion.
Okay, we're not gonna watch that. We're just looking how we're just developing our science corner. So I'm going to insert a YouTube. I put my YouTube link here. Right, search for it. There it is. I select that. Voila, there goes my video. Put my video in about movement, right? Make that big there. I could make it in the center. I like to see things centered, so I'm going to put it in the center. You could put a little, now because it has a video on it, you could put some settings on it here. You could hide the controls or fade, progress bar, and allow full screen, you know, those kind of settings. So I'm gonna put it more in the middle of the class, right? Middle of the site, so that they can see it is more dominant there than anything else. All right. Any questions so far? I've been going for a while. Any questions so far? Tell me. No one have any questions pertaining to how we going so far with setting up our Google Sites for our classroom or for the school? Anybody?
I was trying to follow you, but I got lost along the way.
Where did you get lost?
The parts where you set up the corners.
Okay. We could go back to that. That is no problem. We could go back to that. Appreciate that, Mackie. Anybody else have anything that any question they like to ask, maybe in its usage? What else can we put there? How do we put stuff? How is this applicable to ICT in the classroom or in your lesson? Am I doing that a fantastic job? Well, at least one person is missing. Yes, Seaton? You could unmute your mic. Your mic is mute. Your hand is raised. Jacqueline Seaton. Okay, whenever you're ready, Jacqueline, you could just unmute your mic and ask. I see your hand is up. So anyone else have any question who I could talk to immediately? That will be fine. Okay. All right, so we continuing. Now this is about movement and so forth and things like that. Now, in the science corner in the science page from my class, I could now, you know, create other sections. Maybe I studied about the reproductive system. Maybe I studied about plants, and I put all the information just the same way I did this, right? So I could put, instead of movement, I could put the reproductive system, I could put the solar system, and put the pictures, everything pertaining to those particular topic, I can put them here, all right? So if I want the children to come to revise or recap work, I just send them one link and they can go to everything they would have studied for the entire term. You know, instead of fighting up sometimes to get back a lock-in and everything like that. And some of them forgot, you just send them the link and they'll be able to see the all the content that they studied over the time or the time that they've been with you. All right. So now we're going back to pages and we go to home, right? And what we're going to do is, this is our main page that we set up earlier. For consistency, I'm going to just put another picture here that represents English, but it's not going to be functional. And then leave the science corner here. So let me just look for a quick picture here. I say children reading. All right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, reading have to look fun. Reading cannot look like a punishment. So we look at something, you know, for my group that they can use. Let me see here. All right, let's take this one here. I can see we got some additional ones here. One a little bit more narrow. And again, you can do this by taking a picture of your own class and make the site yours, you know, make the site yours, make the children want to come to the site because their picture is there. So I'm going to come here, I click here, and I think, Maki, here's where you said you get a little bit lost. So we come here, there's a picture here. I could replace the image, the one that is there, and I want to upload one, right? I already downloaded it, it's unnamed, and I open it, and there we go. So this is our English corner here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So both of them look about the same size. Yep. And line them up properly. All right. So you notice when I pull them and so forth, a little grid system is on the back that helps you with lining them up. So yeah, and they will adjust sometimes to suit each other based on size and so forth. So that is our English corner. That is the science corner. Now I have my science page already created. I have my science. This is my home page that we're seeing here. This is my science page. There we go. This is my home page. There we go. This is the first thing the student sees when they come to my page or to my site. All right. And once they come there, they're able to see where they can go. So here now, I can put in a little link, right? I could make the page a link as well. This picture here link. So there we go. We're going to say insert a link. And I want it to link to my science class. So when they click on the picture, it goes to my science class, right? Page science, apply that. Also, you have to cater for the child who will not click on the page. So I'm gonna put here, I'm gonna do the science corner. I'm gonna make that a link. Make that a link. Go to my science page because I already create my science page, right? Let's move it will put in the word science there. All right. Okay, good. All right. So basically, if science was the only subject I was doing, my site is finished. So what I can do now, there's a few things you have to do before you finish and get it going, right? You could add person to see your page. You could add the principal. You could add other schools or other teacher you might have in different schools by using their email so that they could get help with the resource too. It could also be used to share resources among grade 3s. Maybe you are in CWP and you want to share some resource over to a teacher in large village to help out with some content or help him out with some content to help the student. Maybe the students getting difficulty or you getting difficulty getting the information you need to teach a particular topic. You could say, oh yes, I have some information on that. And instead of emailing documents, you share your site with them and they could get the information that they need, right? So that is what that is for. We could preview how our site will look. Let me just see how that will show up. I could preview. And this is how my site will look to anybody who visited, all right? Oh, looking lovely so far. There we go. And that was just actually me speaking and navigating for a few minutes. So then I could come, they could click here, they go to my science corner. They could click here, they go to my science corner. And you see my science corner load back up. There we go. And they could always go back to home here, but you could put a link in there at the same time. So there is a preview of how your site will look for your classroom. And I think one of the best things that the Google site offer is that you can create a whole content list for your class. So if you have students who have difficulty, as we've been experiencing internet issues, we also have them not be able to do get a device. When it comes to review content, you could just send them the link, and that link now, once they click on that, take them straight to your class site where they could get all the information for all the subjects and topics that you would have covered You could put quiz, you could put exams, as you notice. You could put up here, you could put a form which gives you back the answers to the students. You could insert all of those things inside it and make this a very interactive and powerful site for your students. Now, in the settings, right? In the settings, you could use these are different things. You don't really need them, but I'm gonna just go through them a little bit, especially this one called analytics. The analytics is basically tells you how many persons come to your site, which student come to your site, what are they doing on the site, what are they clicking on, what did they use, what video did they watch. It gives you a lot of details as to what is being used on the site. Okay. The brand image, this is, you could change this. This is the little leaf that's up in the corner. Sure, you see that earlier. You could change that if you want to logo it. If you want to put the school logo, this could actually, you don't have to some extent, hire a professional web design to do this. You could actually build a website out of this for your school. So you could put your school badge here. It might be like a professional, like somebody functionalities, but to get your information out there, how to contact the school, how to contact this, whatever the case may be, you know. So the possibility of this could be is very, very endless, right? The viewer tools, the custom domain. This is the interesting part, right? The custom domain, and this is taking it out of the educator's setting, because ICT is not just for the classroom. ICT is all about, if you have like www.village.com, you could put the www.village here, and every time somebody type that domain, it comes to yours, to the school site, and this is the site that they will see. Now, this is the part that really, once you set it up, will report back to you how your students are interacting with the site. What is it they are clicking on? Are they looking at the video? And then you could understand what are the kind of stuff now students are going on. The banner basically is like a piece of message that if students come to your site, they see it and it will scroll across the screen. So if you have an announcement that you want to mention to the students, that will be displayed there. We have the publishing tool, which is, as the site is right now, no one cannot see it but you as the creator, right? You, the teacher, as the creator. Nothing here is viewable to the public as yet. You have to publish it. So when you publish it, you make it possible for the students to get it by sending them a link. So once you create this grade 3 Simmons, Miss Simmons, the students will get that link, and then they can now click on that link and come straight to your site once you click on publish. Once you click on publish, you make it possible to start sharing for your students to start visiting. If you don't do publish, it will be your private site and nobody will have access to it. All right, until you're actually ready. Any question before I finish up on this one? Just take the mic, that will be fine. Okay, so I guess it is pretty clear as to what is it so that could be used for as it pertaining to a tool in your ICT class. As I mentioned, it is very simple to do. It is very simple to create. Miss Seaton, I see that your hand is up. I barely see that.
Yes, my hand is up. Sorry about that, but I was getting some problems earlier with my device, with my
Okay, no
audio.
problem.
Yes, I have some questions, right? I was wondering, I must commend you because I think that what you're doing so far in terms of the format of the content is very interesting. And first question I have is that, is this more so for the higher grade? Because I am teaching grade 1, so I'm wondering if this will be more effective for the higher grades from maybe grade 3 upwards.
No,
Or
no,
if you could
no.
use all grades.
This is versatile for all the grade, because the reason why it's versatile for all the grade, it takes your personality to make it for the children, you know? So if you have like a lower grade, and like what grade you looking at?
Well, I am teaching at grade 1 presently.
Okay, so tell me, tell me, for example, something you will do in grade 1. Is it more like reading? I'm not too sure, just tell me.
Well, for example, I teach math. So, for example, we are looking at addition of number
Okay,
3 times. Right.
wonderful. So let me just adjust. Let me show you. Let me do that quickly in a flash. So instead of having my English corner, I'm gonna have my maths corner. All right. So that's my maths corner. I put a little description here. Of course, you will change the picture. Let me do that one time. Come on, let me do that one time. We have time. Maths. Children. Make it, and for your age range, of course, it has to be pretty, right? Children at
Yep.
that age, yeah, connect with colors. Of course, here we go. So we put maths here. We keep it simple. All right, keep it simple. Okay, I go back to my page. Let me change this now, and you see that the feel of the whole site gonna change now because of the content that you're gonna put up. So I select, I upload my image. I look for the one that I want because now, yeah, now that is kindergarten stuff right there, right? So now this is the front page. So now I have to go now and create my page, my maths page now. So I come to pages and I come down to my plus sign and I hit new page, right? And I'm gonna name it maths page, maths corner. So you see those kindergarten who have problems. Oh gosh, they're struggling, you know. They have problems and struggle to come online. I think this is ideal for you, right? Because now those students who are struggling at home or having difficulty, you send the link to the parent and see what, you know, we did, let's go, let me see, we did, what do you call it? We did 2+2, let's say for argument's sake, we did 2+2. So this is a blank page that we have here, right? So you send the parents the link and we're gonna put in some content inside here. Let me put in some content inside here, right? For this page, I want this layout here. So I have a picture over here and some information here, right? I want to insert, I'm going to insert some text. So this is my text box here, come right up here. And this text box, I can move it above here, just drag it up there. And I say, you can say, parents, today we studied, instead of the emailing, I heard stories of emailing links to the children. You create your Google Sites for the child, for the students then. Today we talk about addition of 2. Please forgive me if I send the wrong thing. I'm speaking two numbers, right? 2+2, right? Let me say 2+2. Example, 2+2. Right, that is our example. Now I put all the video here about 2+2. So I'm going to look for a little video now that says, you know, adding 2 numbers, fun way of adding 2 numbers, because you can make this as fun as you want. Fun ways of adding, and I'm just looking for content. We're building content right now. Right, there we go. For kids, 3+9, or whatever the case may be, 3+2, move and add. Let me use this one because this one is fun right away. All right, we grab that. You will have to research your content, right? I come back here and I put in a YouTube video right here. Let me put in the YouTube video right there. I put in my link here, the link I copied, I search for it bring it up, I select it, I select that. All right, there, my 2+2 video is in. You say parents, certain children, the children weren't able to do it in their free time, please let them sit down and add this. If you have content that you want to put in here, like a worksheet you want the children to do for adding 2+2, adding 2 numbers, worksheet, right? And you could see how this actually becoming to look one of those playful textbook that the kids normally use anyway, right? Because you have it real pretty, and I know persons will put the effort in, and then you could insert a document here for the children to. But I don't have a document. Let's just for argument's sake, let me just put one in. Let's look for one online. you know, just for argument's sake, adding two numbers, worksheet. Something must stay out there, man. Come on, PDF. There we go. So there we go. We have a worksheet here. Remember, Miss Eaton, I'm just using random stuff, right? So that just so that you see, okay? So
Yeah,
then,
I'm following so far.
right. So I go and I think that I save that image and I put it in my download so that I could retrieve it. My downloads folder. Yeah, there we go. It's a PDF. All right. So I hit and save there. Give me 1 second. And save there. Good. I go back to my site. All right. And I go to add and edit. So now here now you could do a few things. You could let's say we want to put in a another Google Doc. Just a doc. A Google Doc is when you want to bring it from your sheet. So let's say let me upload it to my Google Docs because that will help me save it as well. So I go back to because the Google Doc comes with your site, huh? So everything you have is there. So let me just navigate that quickly. My Google Drive. Instead of fight up with that now, let me just put it in. So Google Doc. All right, I put a Google Doc. It goes to the site. Let me show you one here without exposing. All right. So you put your Google on your Google, you put a document on your Google Drive, no problem. And then you upload it. Let me just put it here. Insert. And this is the worksheet here. Now pretend this is 2 plus 2 and your worksheet is there, right? You could organize them however you want, so they're in the same category. You could put a picture here of children adding. You could remove this if you want this to add. So it all depends on how, and that was done we did this complete page within 5 minutes, right? And once you get the hang of it, it even becomes easier. So now I'm going back to my home page now. I go back to my pages section. I go to home. And I'm going to connect my little pretty icon picture here back to my my maths page. So I have my maths corner here. I click on the link, maths corner. Wonderful. I apply that. And some of the kids, I have to highlight because you don't know where kids gonna click. You know, they're gonna say, "Miss, I can't get in." So I made that a link as well. And I go to my maths corner and I hit apply the text maths corner, and I hit apply, and then once I go now to the preview, I have my maths corner, which I could click here and go to my maths page, right? This is my maths page that we just create within 5 minutes. I mean, it's not the best, but I know once you get it, you spend the time and make it look pretty. And I go back to home. I now have my science corner that I could go, and this is my whole child site right here. So for those students now who were having some difficulty at home or difficulty logging in online and getting online work and so forth and things like that, this could be a supplement for those children. You send the link to the parents and say, go to this link, click on the maths corner, you will see the information, you see the video there. Let the children review that for the week and so forth. And then I will put up the assignment, and which could be a form, and the children can click on the form there and you get the information. So those that are having difficulty when Flo decide to act up or whatever decide to act up, you are able to get the supplementary support for the children along with your virtual classes. Miss Seaton, does that help you out there?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm very grateful. I was very impressed because students nowadays they're easy to lose interest, and what you have showed so far, attract their interest, and in many ways, especially are very creative. And I think my students will do well in this. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I am open to anyone who might be interested in have something like this, like a session like this for their school, because I think it's such a great underutilized tool that we could be using in our online setup, and it's just there. It is there free of cost for everyone to use. All right. It's just that person not so much aware of it and how it can be used and the power that is behind it. So that is open there. Any other questions and concerns so far?
Well, I have another question, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was wondering, I know I had something similar like this before in your last session, but in terms of for using this site, is this easily accessible on any gadget? Like for
Yes.
example, the
Yes.
students.
It doesn't matter what gadget they use. It doesn't matter what device they use. It's accessible on all devices. That is one thing Google makes sure happen, that their items are accessible on all devices.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks very much.
You're welcome, Miss Seaton. You're welcome. It seems like you're the only curious one. Anybody else have any questions or concerns?
I have a concern here.
Yes.
Okay. From my area, I'm looking at it from a higher level because I'm dealing with some adults at the Technical Institute.
Okay, good.
What I'm looking at, I didn't see what exactly how you started from the very start, but I've got a great deal of information from where I picked up.
Okay.
But I am not one of the persons who could just listen to a long session like this and
Oh, you have to
recall,
actually be actively involved.
involved in it to actually learn. So what I'm thinking of, is there a means, maybe like a contact, or so while you're going through this, if I have any difficulties like setting up a record or anything, I can like message for some help, because for me to be able to use it, and I think I would also need to be able to explain it to the trainees also, so that if they have any problems, like adding their work and editing their work and things like that, they can do it.
So at the Technical Institute now, I want just to expand on that. At the Technical Institute, what section of the Technical Institute do you teach the kids? What subject area? Lemuel, are you there? Like we lose Lemuel, lost Lemuel a bit there. No
Sorry,
problem.
I think that was my ear. Oh, better now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, good. So I was saying I deal with furniture construction.
Right.
But the issue is that the trainees must build a portfolio. And this seems like a good way to do the portfolio online, because
Definitely.
there are sometimes when actually having the hard copy could be a problem. Let's say you have printing problem, sometimes ink issues and so forth. If they have the information electronically, it could always be retrieved whenever they need it.
Right.
And sometimes we're looking at now during the COVID time, you don't know, sometimes we could just say we got to shut down for next 2-3 weeks, maybe a month.
Exactly.
Things go on online. Right. So whenever you have the privilege to open up and do the practical work, everything is already done online. You could just always print it off, or you could just share it, because I've been speaking about presenting electronic portfolios.
Right. Right.
Right. So,
Lemuel, this is exactly what you want. Right.
Right. So what I'm thinking of here now is that at the same point, understanding it so that I can explain it to the trainees. Because you have to, when you do the portfolios, you need to do things like your photographic evidence. So
yes.
Their photos. But for me to be able to teach them, I must have a good understanding.
Yes, I quite
I'm asking here now, if I encounter technical difficulties, if it is possible, I can have like a little guide, can maybe call you at some time to get some assistance or something.
Yeah, sure. That is fine. That is fine. That is fine. You could I could give you a number right now that you could reach me. I definitely want 434-6847. That is fine.
Okay, I appreciate that.
No problem.
Let me get something to record.
Okay, so that is very simple. Anybody else? I see Mr. Lab. Is this Ikamola? Ikamola, how are you doing?
Okay, could you repeat that for me, please, now?
434-6847.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Ika?
Precious, Petrus, I also find that the Google site. Well, I use the Google site. Well, you will know because we do some ICT.
Right.
I use it a lot for collaboration. The students, if they have like group projects and all that.
Yes.
The Google site is excellent for that, especially if you have like fifth farmers who may be doing like SPs and all those things. Well, we encourage a lot of collaboration. So it's excellent for that as well. And students, as the gentleman just alluded to, you can give them sites. They too can build sites and have fun and enjoy.
yeah, and you see like how and he mentioned it very well, building their own portfolio
Building their
because yeah,
portfolio and so
because
on.
getting there, I mean, like some of them, if you're building wood chairs and so forth, I'm pretty sure that these children at some point might want to make a little career out of it, because that is, I really think that is where a lot of money is being made. But to do that, they could they have to find some way to display, because if you go to a professional, to do a website for you, you're talking between 5 to 10,000 that is going to charge you to do that. A child or somebody can't do that. So this could actually be a start for them to start putting up pictures of what they're doing. And just like the gentleman said, they could put up a little tutorial on how they create or what they're doing. Because at the moment, Ike, and I think you alluded to it as well, at the moment, and the gentleman as well, there's a possibility, that we don't know, that we might say shut down back right now. So currently, what we are trying to do is work in a way that if this is shut down, that if this is shut down, we're working with that if this is shut down, we have some level of continuity of the children getting the content. The children can still collaborate. So this type of tool is actually what some of these tools is actually what we're using. So like for SBA, if we say shut down right now because things are getting real bad, most of my children already are online, because that is what we start doing right away. Get how to prepare just in case we have to go back online. And these are the tools that we're using. And I think just as the Miss Seaton mentioned, you see, if we go back in and we still run into problem with internet connection, we still run into problem with children not having device at the time we need them to have device. You just publish your site and send the link straight to meet the parents in the parents group, and the children can go there and you date the topics, so that they could see the video, they could see the content, and you send a little quiz and you put it there. So children who might be disadvantaged because they don't have internet at the time, when they're ready, they could go and do the work, and they still be to some part catching up. So Amola, you hit it on the head there. Yes, that is very good. Anyone else? Because I'm close to wrapping up. I have you here long enough. Hello. Okay, I guess everybody, I see no message, no chat or anything like that. So I think everybody is pretty comfortable. I think some person might just want a little clarity on how things are created, but trust me, it is very, very simple. Very simple and straightforward. I show a recap. If I get the recording and send the recording to you guys and you recap that will be very simple for you, to get hold of. So again, I think we could go on and on about the possibilities of what it can do. The possibilities of this is endless, but I don't want to bore you too much with everything. So I just want to say, I want to cut it here because we created a home page, we create 2 pages. I show you how to change up a page so that it fit your particular, thanks a lot, Ms. Prasad. And you change up a lot of things on how you want your class to change up. And it only take you having a Gmail account. Having a Gmail account, and you have one of these at your disposal. You have a lot of tools like this at your disposal. It's a matter for you to just take them and do with them how you want them to be done. So I want to say, if there's another question, I want to say thank you for having me here again a second time. I hope whatever I share with you is something that is worthwhile and feasible to you, yourself as students. Okay, I like the idea. Okay, I will send the recording, Miss Mackie. All right, I want to say thank you for having me, and I hope what I share with you is worthwhile and you can use it in your class, with your classroom and everything like that, and make it a little bit more fun as a content area for your students. So I now hand back over to the host, Mr. Oswald, Mr. Robinson, to take it away.
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Mr. Combs, and all the teachers who have participated. This is a very exciting presentation, and we really appreciate it for coming to the assistance of our teachers. And this is an opportunity for our teachers. We hope to share it with colleagues because we want our teachers to continue to perform and to be more effective in their presentation to the students. So we appreciate you very much and everybody who yes, so I was saying thank you very much again. I want to ask the General Secretary if she has any announcement. I know we have a very important session tomorrow. If she wants to speak to that before we have any closing remarks from the course director.
Oh, good night,
Sister
everyone.
Irene?
Thank you, Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
tomorrow we have our day of prayer. Will be joined by the Police Welfare Association, the Public Service Union, and hopefully the Nurses Association. We're asking teachers to send in their prayers, and their prayer requests. We will publicize your prayer so that people can say your prayer. We'll have persons praying for you. In the evening at 6 p.m., we will be having a Zoom meeting where we'll come together again and pray with each other. And at the end of that meeting, we will be lighting our candles and praying. We would like to invite everyone to be part of this session. You know, the situation that we're going through with the mandatory vaccination, and we're hoping that through prayers, we could have our government make a turn on that decision. So yes, that's right. Oh, and next week, we'll be having our Solidarity Week. Okay, our Solidarity Week. That's the week where we celebrate that 1975. It is Mr. Robinson.
1975.
Yes. So for next week, on Monday, we're supposed to be having our lecture, right? CWP Memorial Lecture. I have that date, right, Mr. Robinson?
Monday, start with Sunday. We start with
Sunday. Yes, on Sunday, we are supposed to be having our church session. Yes. Right, yes. And Monday, let me just get the session, the program here. Yes, on Monday we'll be having our church session. It'll be done by we'll be joining whichever church we'll join, and then online. On Monday we have the CW Prescott Memorial Lecture, which will be done by our sister Decima Hamilton. And on Tuesday, we have a panel discussion on the topic, Trade Unions Overcoming Obstacles, Threat to Industrial Harmony in Difficult Time. We'll be having some regional panelists will be joining us. And on Wednesday, we'll be having our annual general meeting. We're asking every member to try to be part of that annual general meeting. And on Thursday, we'll be having a cultural showcase at 6 p.m. That cultural showcase will be showcasing our teachers playing instruments, singing songs, doing poetries, many different presentations we'll have. If you have something that you want to put forward to us, please send it in via our email, myteachersunion@gmail.com. and label it cultural presentation, and we'll air your piece also. And on Friday, we'll be having a virtual solidarity rally that will be at 3 p.m. And on Saturday, we'll culminate our Solidarity Week with the President's Award at 6 p.m. So members, Our poster is out there for you to follow, and we'll be sending out all the Zoom links for all of the sessions. So we're inviting everyone to join for each of the session and be part of so that you can be part of our Solidarity Week. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, General Secretary. And our Teachers Talk radio program will be heard this Sunday at 6 p.m. on Extreme Radio, and it is streamed on our Facebook page. So please keep in tune with your Teachers Union. I want to ask Mr. John, our course director, if he has any comments to make before we close.
I think Mr. John probably dropped out, Mr. Robinson. I'm not seeing him in the session.
Okay. So let me thank the General Secretary again for her hard work. We did say that she did join us a little late because she had some important matters to deal with. We thank her for the announcements. We appreciate also Sister Atika James, the Assistant General Secretary, for taking charge of hosting until the GS was able to us. We want to thank our presenter, Mr. Gums, for doing an excellent job. And you need to give him a round of applause virtually. Tap yourself on the shoulder because he had empowered us. And we appreciate very much. And we hope that we'll be able to call on him at some other opportune time. We want to thank our technical director, Brother Sheddy Conliffe, our course director, Brother Andrew John, and all the other persons who have played an instrumental role in enabling us to continue these sessions. We want to ask you to be safe, observe all the protocols, continue to do your work, and rally around the Teachers Union. Good night, everyone, and thanks for your time for being part of this wonderful experience we had tonight.